Hey chicas, we're going to learn how to start HTML. So you just messed around with some HTML just for fun to get us started, and now we're going to learn the basic setup so you can move on to do more complicated HTML things. So go to your notes, make sure you're taking notes where you're supposed to, and then this is going to be a play pause it, so you're going to be answering questions along the way as well. So first things first, every HTML document starts out with this. This is the doc type declaration up here. So the browser, when we load our website, knows that it's an HTML document, so it knows what to do with it. After that, we are going to have our HTML start tag. So that's our start tag. And then what I like to do is I like to skip a few lines and I go ahead and put my HTML end tag. And an end tag is the same as the start tag, except it has a forward slash in it. So everything is going to be inside these HTML tags here, all of our website information. So the next thing that comes after your HTML tag is your head tag. So what I like to do is I go ahead and do my start and end tag for my head tag. And this is everything that's going to be, that tells the browser, is there any styling? Like, is there background colors and stuff like that? It's going to say the tab name. So what shows up here in the tab. Also, like what character set to use, like is it going to be Japanese symbols or US English symbols? And that goes inside the head tag. So one of the most important thing that goes inside the head tag is your title tag. And that is the title that shows up in the actual tab itself here. And that's what Google searches and stuff look for, as they look inside this title. So for this one, we're going to do a test website. And some people like to put their title tag all on one line like this. Some people like to space it out. It's up to you, really. I personally like it all in one line, but it's up to you. So that's pretty much all we need right now inside our head. Eventually, we're going to learn CSS, and CSS is how you make background colors and change the color of your text and stuff. And that will go inside something called a style tag. And notice all these tags, the start one and the end one, are all the same, except they have a forward slash for the end ones. And they are enclosed in these angle brackets, or if you like math, a greater than or less than sign. So this is going to be CSS. I'm not going to write anything in it right now because we're not worried about that. And I like to keep my code kind of clean, so I space everything out so I can see it easier. It won't affect how your website shows up. It doesn't count white space. So if I put a bunch of spaces right here, it's not gonna do anything. It just makes it look nicer if it's nice and spread out so people can read it. All right, so that's the end of the head tag. So now we're gonna go into the actual part that is your website, all the information on your website, and that goes inside something called the body. And so we have our start and end tag for body, and this is going to be everything, all the information. So there's a lot of tags to learn in HTML. I'm going to go over a few now, and you'll see some more in the practice and notes in the future. And it's going to be a little redundant. You're going to hear some of the same thing a few times. That's because I want it to sink in. So the first thing is headings, titles, and things. And those are anything from H1. This will do my name in H1, start and end tag. So the end tag again has the angle brackets. Notice how large that shows up. So over here you can see what I wrote. This isn't what it would look like on a web page. So if I write a H2 tag with my name in it, notice what happened. If I write H3 with my name in it, notice what happens. And this goes all the way up to H6. So H6, I'm just going to skip a few here and go to H6. And you can see that this would be the smallest. Tiny little subtitles or something like that. Okay, so that's one nice thing to use. Another thing to use is a paragraph tag, which is just a P. Pretty easy to remember. And this will chunk information together. So if you have a lot of stuff to type, so I'm going to type stuff, typing stuff, that would be inside a paragraph. So when I end my paragraph tag and I start a new one, what will happen on the website is that it skips a spot here, kind of does a double space, and puts this information in an entire new paragraph. Now, let me end that real quick. Notice this line right here just ran on and on and on and never braked to go to the next line. And watch, if I keep on adding, notice it eventually will go over to the next line. But what if I want to break it in a certain spot? What if I don't want to wait for it to automatically break like that? So what we can do is we can add a break tag. Now, a break tag is a special type of tag because it is a start and end tag in itself, because you're just putting in one thing, a break. You don't have anything inside of a break tag. So all a break tag looks like is your opening angle bracket, BR, and then your end angle bracket. And notice it broke the text right where that was. So if I want to do another one, I'll break it again right here. Notice it breaks it again. Want to break it again. Well, I should have probably broke it back here. So anywhere I put a break tag, it will break up the text. So pretty cool. All right. So it automatically got rid of the head and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. That just is this website that does that. Okay, so the next thing that would probably be pretty beneficial is how to insert an image. Yeah, that could be pretty tough. So let's look at that. Now we've gone over start and end tags. You've learned headings, which are H1 through H6. You got a paragraph tag. You learned about the body, the head, the title. So we're going to do an image. Now an image is another special type of tag. It doesn't have a start and end tag. It's just a single tab. So image tag is IMG, short for image. And then we have to give the website an image. We have to tell it a place to look to. So we got to give it a source, which is SRC. Now, we will see this a lot, but we're going to put an equal sign, quotation marks, and then we have to find an image that we want. So we have to go somewhere on Google, find an image. I typed football because I figure a lot of people probably like football. I don't really. Here we go. We'll take some people off. We'll do real football, not American football. All right, so here's the image. Now we want this URL, so we're going to highlight this and copy it. I do Control C, and we're going to paste it. And the number one thing I forget to do is put my end quotes. Your URL has to be in quotes. And then we have to do one more thing, is we have to tell this browser how big we want the picture to be. So I'm going to say width equals, in quotes, 300, and that will make the picture 300 pixels wide. And I got to put my closing angle bracket, and notice it put the picture there. Now if I change it to 500 pixels, we'll say, oh, that's too small. Now it shows up a little bit larger. So this is a nice little intro to get you guys started. Answer any questions that pop up on the play pause it. Actually, those will all have already happened, so this one makes sense. Whoa, going backwards in time here. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.